Mahaya Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara. I'm going to repeat the Guru Stotra. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So it's 7:36. Maybe we'll start in another 3-4 minutes. Let's get in a very devotional bhav for the Lord that resides within our hearts. The presence of the Guru without directs us to the presence of the Guru within. Man bhavan mero Satguru naam Guru charano mein चारों धाम मन भावन मेरो सतगुरु नाम गुरु चरणों में चारों धाम. The Lord within, the Guru within, is accessed through a feeling. When you're overtaken by love, when your heart is overflowing with love, you're connected deeply with the Lord within. So let those juices flow. Let that heart overflow with love and let that connection be made. Guru ne sikhai sat ki sadhana jap tap nishtha nityopasana jap tap nishtha nityopasana Guru nirmala mero Guru nishkam Guru nirmala mero Guru nishkam Guru charano mein charon dham Man bhavan mero Satguru naam Guru charano mein charon dham. Let that heart overflow with gratitude. Gratefulness is prayerfulness. Prayerfulness is gratefulness. And that is love. Feel that love. यह श्रुति वेद कहता, गुरु बिना ज्ञान कैसा। यह श्रुति वेद कहता, गुरु बिना ज्ञान कैसा। ज्ञान बिना मुक्ति कैसी आवे तेरे ध्यान में। गुरु ब्रह्म रूप जानो, शिव का स्वरूप मानो। गुरु ब्रह्म रूप जानो, शिव का स्वरूप मानो। When you fall in love with the Guru, outside Guru, he invokes the love within. And every time you're overtaken by that love, you're establishing that connection. To be in love is to be one with the Guru, because the Guru within is accessed through feeling. That's why in Bhagavad Gita, Swamiji says, Sangeet, he talks about music and dance being the quickest way for self-realization. He says that because that opens up your heart. So take a moment to feel that love, that gratitude that's overflowing. And that feeling of gratitude is prayer. When you look around, when you look within, and you feel nothing but gratitude for everything he has given, for everything he has made available. Even before the time we knew of him, he has been there. The presence of the Guru has been there within. अविचल प्रीत की रीत सिखा दो, अविचल प्रीत की रीत सिखा दो। गुरुवर नैया पार लगा दो, गुरुवर नैया पार लगा दो। लीजो मेरो कोटि प्रणाम, लीजो मेरो कोटि प्रणाम। गुरु चरणों में चारों धाम, मन भावन मेरो सतगुरु नाम। गुरु चरणों में चारों धाम, गुरु चरणों में चारों धाम. Take a moment to experience this feeling that's happening within you. This state of being you are in right now. Extreme gratitude, love overflowing from your heart. And that smile that comes to your lips automatically. That's a state of meditation. That's gratefulness. That's prayerfulness. That's love. In such a state, no matter what comes out of you, no matter what kind of thoughts, what kind of words or actions, they will be filled with love, because your state of being is love, is gratitude, is deep acceptance. So in the next few days, as an experiment, try accessing the Guru within through that feeling, deep gratitude. deep love. Connect multiple times during the day with music or no music. The guru within is accessed through feeling, because feeling is an intensified thought. Like Swamiji says, bhav mein bhavna to koi nahi sambhavna. And that bhav is that deep feeling of gratitude, of love, of acceptance, of being accepted. So on that note, we will start the Bhagavad Gita discussion. Because without that feeling, it's going to be very hard to enter into that devotional mood, devotional state, to understand Lord Krishna's teachings. If we were to merely open the book and start reading, we would never understand. It's dry intellectual knowledge. But in that bhav, when you enter Bhagavad Gita, a single word uttered by the Lord can melt you. So we started off with the first chapter, and we saw how Arjun gave a discourse to Lord Krishna based on all of the things he knew already, that he had acquired in his life through intellectual study, through watching others, through listening to his elders. So it basically shows how we get conditioned in our views. Whatever we utter, however we think, and however we act is deeply conditioned by what we are given through our parents, kith and kin, friends, society, schooling, education. Everything that Arjuna had acquired, he uttered it out to Lord. And he was like, from all of his knowledge. Some of us listen to speak. Very few of us can listen to understand. We are very quick in judging others based on their thoughts, their actions, their words. But we don't try to understand the source of where this could be coming from, because we have never understood ourselves. We are very quick in judging our own actions and feeling guilty, saying, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. We're very quick. But do we ever understand where that could be coming from within me? And as Ramana Maharishi says, the one who understands himself understands others. We're all very similar. Conditioning may be different. So Lord Krishna heard Arjun. He let him speak. He didn't interrupt. He said, you let it out of your system. Tell me all the knowledge you have. Give it to me. Of course, the Lord doesn't have to listen to understand. He can just look at him and know the whole story. But, it's a great message for all of us. We're very quick to stop the other person and to speak. We have to listen to understand. So Lord Krishna understood from Arjun's discourse, he understood Arjun's state of being. I'm not just talking state of mind. State of mind is nothing but the byproduct of your state of being. Like we talked about in that, when I was singing the bhajan, we all went into a very devotional, a very grateful mood, right? We were all in a prayerful mood. The kind of thoughts, the kind of words you utter from that mood are going to be very different compared to how one may utter words when he's not in that mood. So Lord Krishna observed his state of being. He observed a couple of things. He saw how Arjuna was judging his actions. Arjun was judging his abilities. Arjun was judging the outside situation. And from listening to Arjun's perception, Lord Krishna understood his state of being. So it's like, that was the first thing. Second is, when a child, let's say, breaks a toy and comes crying to the parent doesn't start crying with the child. That's not compassion. That's not empathy. Of course, the parent will bring the child closer, caress him, love him, and say, it's okay, I'll get you another one. It's not a big deal. The child doesn't get it. But the parent doesn't start crying with the child. So that's what Lord Krishna did. He didn't misdirect his compassion and say, oh, Arjuna, I understand. You're right. How can you kill your own grandparents and teachers and brothers? And he didn't say that. When Arjun came crying to him, saying, I can't fight anymore, the very first things Lord Krishna said is, what's wrong with you? The one thing you have known all your life, Arjun, is to fight. From the moment you took charge of your senses, the only thing that you have honed, the only skill you know, is to fight. And you want to give up that very thing that you know really well? What a waste of existence. So we are all born with unique abilities. Some of us have trained ourselves in one or the other areas. We have to take that skill and we have to serve the creation with that skill. Establish dharma with that skill. Establish dharma, I don't want to say righteousness, establish dharma with that skill. Whatever that skill may be, that is for us to identify. So Lord Krishna reminded him, he did not misdirect his compassion and say, it's okay, I understand. He said, that's one skill you're born with. That's one skill you have honed all your life. It's time to use that skill to establish dharma. What are you doing, Arjun? Why are you backing off at this moment? Of course, and then Arjuna said, he gave some more discourse to Lord Krishna, and then he says, I am completely overtaken by Karpanya dosh. We have to first understand what's Karpanya dosh. Karpanya dosh is miserly attitude. If you look at animals, they only think about, they can only think about themselves and their offspring. They don't have what we have, wherein we can extend the boundaries of our family slowly outside. So the family system, husband, wife, children, right? It starts there. It's like grows in concentric circles. If you're able to do justice to your immediate relations, if you're able to care for your immediate relations, then you're ready to go to the next concentric circle. And then the next, and then the next, and then the next. So your family keeps growing. Only we have that ability. So Arjuna is saying, oh Lord, you want me to establish dharma by getting into a fight with my own kith and kin. But I am overtaken by Karpanya dosh. I'm only able to look at this first concentric circle. I'm not able to go beyond that. Help me. I understand what you're telling me to do, but I'm completely overtaken by Karpanya dosh. I'm not able to go beyond the confines of my own kith and kin. I can't see past it. Help me. So you see, Lord Krishna saw that Arjun was judging himself, judging his own actions. And as I was explaining before, we are very quick to judge based on our own thoughts. If we get one immoral thought, we are quick to judge. Oh my God, how can I think that way? If we were to say something to someone, we're quick to judge. How did I do that? I'm establishing kindness. How did I do that? Or actions. We are constantly judging the superficiality of our existence, not knowing that there is something deep within that determines our thoughts, our actions, and our words. Realizing that, Lord Krishna started his discourse in the second chapter, explaining about the very core of everyone's existence. So the doings, our doing, which could be mental, emotional, physical, right? We think, we speak, we act. Our doings emerge out of our state of being. So Lord Krishna starts talking about your state of being. And then before he says, before a person is eligible or ready to get a glimpse of their true nature, they have to first do some preparatory work. First preparation being awareness of a cyclical nature of the samsara. We need to be first aware that how sukhe dukhe same kritva, labha labhau jaya jayo, that we go on with life, no matter what our age is right now. We all have experienced success. We all have experienced failures. We all have experienced love. We all have experienced some amount of hatred. We all have experienced happy moments. We all have experienced sad moments. So he says, the very first qualification to get a glimpse of your true nature is awareness of the cyclical nature of the world, of the samsara. That's why it's called the wheel. Today you might be feeling grateful, in a state of gratitude, deep in bhav. Tomorrow you'll be out of the bhav. And tomorrow you might feel anger or hatred towards someone. Then again you might feel some gratitude. You might watch a video of Swamiji. Again you're back in gratitude. Again you might feel differently about someone. You might have some amount of success in whatever you're doing. Tomorrow you'll experience some failure. This cycle keeps going. You wake up one day feeling on top of the world, energetic, just in a really good mood. 3 days later, you might wake up feeling listless. Then again, 2 days later, you might feel on top of the world. It's a cycle. We all know that. We refuse to be aware of it. So Sri Krishna says, Arjun, the very first qualification is be aware of the cyclical nature. Because when you're aware of the cyclical nature, that awareness is your first glimpse into your true nature. That awareness of the cyclical nature is the first glimpse. We all know, oh yeah, and we have read so many quotes because we are somewhere Arjuna. If someone is going through some bad time, we're quick to jump in and say, don't worry, this too shall pass. In bad times, we all get strength. We are good to give, all this. But when it comes to us, when we are going through some dark time, when we are going through some difficult time, how many of us can say, yes, I'm going through a difficult time. It is really hard right now. It's breaking me right now. But I know this too shall pass, because in the past, Also, I have gone through times like this and they have passed. It's okay. I am aware. How many of us are able to muster even a little bit of equanimity at that time? So Lord Krishna says, Arjun, the very first qualification is awareness. The more you are aware, the more deeply you are aware of how even the tiniest things happen in a cyclical manner. Night is followed by day. Sunrise is followed by sunset. Today you have this, tomorrow you may not have that. But in the past, this has happened. You've had that and it has been taken away. Sometimes your bank balance is up. We've all experienced it. So the next few days, just be aware that yes, today I'm feeling on top of this world. I'm feeling so energetic, so great. Tomorrow I might not, which is okay. We don't even have to worry about tomorrow. Today I'm feeling great. Okay, this too shall pass. No big deal. Doesn't mean we have to live in a depressed state of mind saying, all this doesn't matter. If you're joyous, feel joyous. If you're sad, it's okay. I have been sad before. It's not the end of the world. I have lived all these years. It comes and goes. So Lord Krishna says, Arjun, when you start becoming aware, that awareness is your first glimpse into your true nature. That awareness then prepares you for being equanimous. When you are equanimous, sukhe dukhe same kritva labha labha jaya jayo. When you are equanimous, mostly, like Swamiji uses this word mostly. When you're mostly equanimous, it's hard to be equanimous. When you're going through rough times, you alone know how rough it is. But know that you have been in those shoes before also, and it has passed. Everything passes. So equanimity will prepare us. It is the first step towards knowing the true nature. Then we have to understand, okay, now I'm aware of the cyclical nature. I'm trying to be equanimous. Now give me the true nature. That's where bhakti comes into picture. Devotion. The Lord will reveal himself. Divine Mother will reveal herself on her own sweet will. We can just prepare ourselves, and preparation, as Lord Krishna says, become aware of the cyclical nature, try to be equanimous. And the Lord will start revealing himself, because you're doing this out of love. When you are in a state of love, your thoughts, actions, words are filled with love. That's where bhakti comes into picture then. And vairagya, bhakti and vairagya. Vairagya is dispassion, detachment. And what is the detachment for? Detachment is knowing that, okay, I'm happy, I'm on top of this world today, I'm full of energy today. It's okay, let me enjoy. And tomorrow when I'm not, that's fine too. Because just last week, I had this moment. I was not full of energy. No big deal. I'm back to being full of energy. So bhakti, Lord, reveal thyself to me. Divine Mother, reveal thyself to me. Bhakti. Vairagya, with my own willpower that you have given me, I will try to be equanimous. I will try to be aware. So Lord Krishna first, in the first 25 to 29 to 30 verses, he talks about the state of being. He continuously brings Arjun's attention to Arjun, you keep focusing on the sansara, the cyclical nature. There is something that's constant behind all these scenes. There is something constant. To become aware of that, first become aware that this is changing. Once you become aware that this is constantly changing, that awareness is your first glimpse. After becoming aware, start becoming equanimous. As you become equanimous, develop love. Be dispassionate towards what's happening outside. Know that it happens in a cycle. And then I shall reveal myself to you. And then he saw how Arjuna was continuously focusing on his actions. I'll kill them, I'll kill this, I'll go here, I'll go to hell. After explaining the state of being, then Lord Krishna talks about Karma Yoga. Then he touches upon how to perform action. He doesn't start off with action because that's living superficially. He first teaches Arjun, establish yourself, at least partially, in that state of being. Let your state of being be full of gratitude, be full of love. Let you establish yourself in your true nature. Because when you're established in your true nature, your actions become secondary. You're not the doer. Your actions happen out of joy. Right after this satsang, you'll all be filled with love, gratitude, a devotional mood. Imagine no matter what work you do after this, what kind of state of mind will you be in? We will not perform any action after this knowing what's coming, what's the fruit of action, because we are all constantly worried. Should I not be attached to fruits of action? Should I work without expecting any pay? No. Lord Krishna is saying, Arjun, work on your state of mind. State of being. Work on your state of being. Establish yourself in the joy that constantly flows within. In that joy, no matter what you do, is Karma Yoga, because your action is happening in yoga, becoming one with me. That's a prayer, right, for Divine Mother. Prataruthaya sayahnam sayahnat pratarevatu yat karomi jagannatah tadeva tava pujanam tadeva tava pujanam. When you're established in the love for Divine Mother, in that love, work happens, singing happens, dance happens, gratitude happens, meditation happens, forgiveness happens, acceptance happens. From being, doing happens. So shift your focus from doing to being. Instead of trying to act in a kind manner, become kindness. And then all your actions will be kind. That's Lord Krishna's main message here, that Arjun, establish yourself in that inner joy. From that joy, no matter what you do, from morning till evening, it will all be my worship, because your actions will be yoga. You'll be connected with me because that joy, I was explaining, that feeling, when you are in deep gratitude and you're doing no matter what, you're not attached to the action, fruit of the action. You're just involved in the action because the action is happening out of that inner joy that's bubbling. Because the main difference between Karma Yoga and regular karma is we do actions for the sake of happiness. Let me go watch TV so I can be happy. So the action is happening for the fruit, which is to derive joy. So before, actions were happening to derive joy. Now, Lord Krishna is saying, first become established in that joy. No matter what action happens, How does it matter? They're all happening in yoga. And that's what a sthita prajna is. His awareness is in that inner joy, inner gratitude, inner love. He could be doing whatever, but that whatever is defined by his state of being. So he will never do anything, whatever. So imagine your state of being as full of inner joy, that inner beauty, that love, acceptance, gratitude, forgiveness. It has become your state of mind. Will you ever struggle to forgive someone? No, because you are forgiveness. Will you ever struggle to love someone? No, because you are love. Will you ever fail to accept anyone? No, because you have accepted yourself deeply. Everyone around us is broken. From that broken state of being, they're acting, and we keep judging them. We keep judging ourselves, forget others. All of us are broken within. Little by little, all these practices and everything is all, it's fixing us from within. Our state of mind, our state of being is getting fixed. Because the goal is one day, the state of being will be so beautiful, like it will be love. All your actions, words, thoughts will be love. So Lord Krishna's message. And because second chapter is a big chapter, I only wanted to cover till now. It's about 36 verses. Again, we will take up the next few verses in the next class, whenever that is, next session. But till then, we all have some homework to do. We have to first become aware of the cyclical nature. Second, we have to try to be equanimous. And third, we have to stop judging ourselves based on our thoughts, actions, and words, and understand where they could be coming from. A broken instrument will not create beautiful music. So we have to work on our state of being. And if that state of being is full of gratitude, it's prayer. Make it full of love. Whatever you want, you have to give. Give love. You'll become love. Because for it to go through you, for it to come out of you, it has to go through you. So focus on state of being. And if you stop judging yourself, judging others is out of equation. We are so quick to judge ourselves. We don't realize we are all broken. So let us try to work on our state of being. Just a deep feeling of love, acceptance, gratitude, many, many times during the day. That's why we fall in love with the outside guru, so that the love becomes our state of being. Compassion becomes our nature. I am so sorry I took up so much time. So I will end my talk here. Please go ahead and continue the discussion. Om Swami, Om Swami, Om Swami.
If anyone has any questions, we can take them up now.
Everyone is so silent.
Okay, I'll ask a question which many have asked me time and again. And Arjun had asked Krishna, further going on, a little verses ahead of what we've just discussed. He says that controlling the mind and bringing it back to the state of being in love and peace and being equanimous is much more difficult than even taming the wind. So, how do we go about it? Now, Anu has done a whole series on it. It's called The Mind and Divine, because this is something that cannot be answered in a few lines, but it can be done with just a minute of being centered. So I'll request everybody in the group to go through this series one more time, and maybe many more times, because every time I feel I'm going off track, I just go back, listen to it. It is not about who is saying it. It is about, having a tool in hand that helps you just get back to your own center, because that center is from where springs all the love that we talk about, our true nature that we talk about. And we tend to keep deviating from it, which is the very nature of the mind, getting affected by everything that happens around us, just like it was happening for Arjun. So this is something I wanted to request. If other than this, somebody wants to have a discussion on something else, can please unmute yourself and uh, feel free to talk. I think, Anu, you've made everybody so equanimous. Nobody has a question today, which is so nice.
People can also use the chat window if they have any questions. No questions. So I think, Mansi, I have covered until about 36 verses.
Yeah.
So we'll give everyone maybe 2 weeks and then come back. What do you say?
I think we can take it up in the next week. A week's time is good enough. Oh, we'll talk about it.
Yeah. It gives me some time to study as well. So,
yeah.
Okay, so for the group, we have the homework of being aware and trying to be equanimous. All right, then. Well, then we'll end the session.
Yeah.
Kundali Kumari Kutile Chandi Charachara Savitri Chamunde Gunini Guharini Guhye Gurumurte Tvam Namami Kamakshi Gurumurte Tvam Namami Kamakshi. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Swami, Om Swami, Om Swami. Well, we have a question here. How can we keep reminding ourselves to be in a state of being? You're already in a state of being. No one can be without a state of being. Right now, I am in a state of being. Now, what that state of being is, that's different. So we are always in a state of being. We are talking about the quality of that state of being. If you are in, like Swamiji says, the quickest antidote to sadness is gratitude. So sadness is a state of being. When you are overtaken by grief, that is your state of being, sadness. Gratitude is a state of being. Forgiveness is a state of being. Love is a state of being. Since we are all working towards developing or cultivating a state of being which is love all the time, or at least as Swamiji says, most of the time, our job is to first become aware, what state am I in right now? How am I feeling? What am I thinking? So this state of being keeps changing. It keeps changing because we are constantly in the superficial zone, what's happening outside. So outside happenings have an impact on my state of being right now. Our goal is to know that the outside happenings happen in a cyclical manner. Today this, tomorrow that, day after tomorrow this, and then after that this. So first I become aware that, okay, outside things keep changing. I don't need to continuously let that outside affect me. That's equanimity. And so at that time, what state you are in? You are in a state of equanimity. In that state of equanimity, you start getting glimpses of the Lord within, because that's the grace of the Lord that flows. When you say, okay, this is happening in a cyclical manner, I'm aware, I'm going to try to be equanimous. Lord, reveal thyself to me. That's bhakti. So with that devotional mood, you continuously be in gratitude, be in prayer. Reveal thyself to me. Reveal thyself to me. There is a Christian book by Brother Lawrence. I'm trying to remember the name. It's a Christian faith book, but it shows how to be in a state of prayer. I absolutely love that book. The Practice of the Presence of God by Brother Lawrence. It's a free book also. It's on YouTube also. But what Swamiji stands for is, if someone is giving us their life's gyan from first-hand experience, the least we can do is offer our gratitude by buying the book. It's not an expensive book. It's a game changer in practicing the presence of God. So I highly recommend that book. It's a Christian faith book, but God is God is God is God. Love is love is love is love. So it will help you understand how you can be connected all day, how you approach the Lord. Let me see if I have some quotes. I'm sorry, I don't want to keep this meeting up like that, but I was looking for, okay, that's fine, I can't find it. So the book is called The Practice of Presence of God by Brother Lawrence. It's a very short read, but it will take you to the next level in your prayer. Oh, Ravi has shared, perfect, The Practice of Presence of God. Yes. So how can I know what exactly my true nature is? You cannot know. I cannot know. The Lord reveals himself. That's all. We are all in a state of being all the time. We go through different. Our goal is to know equanimous state. Okay, so so on that note, we will call the session done. Om Swami, Om Swami, Om Swami. Okay, we can stop the recording.